My dear friends, we just recited a prayer for the well-being of our soldiers, the freedom of our hostages, freedom of all of us who are hostages. But I need this personal favor from you. I am, as you can see, not in my usual place where I do record these messages. I'm traveling. I do not have a tzedakah box next to me. Please, you put in some tzedakah and put an extra one on my behalf too. And as we know, we can do mitzvahs for each other. Okay, you can put on tefillin for me, but you could give tzedakah for me. And bli neder, if you let me know what you gave, I will, coming home, I will give that amount for tzedakah, for charity. I should start by saying Rosh Chodesh today, Chodesh Tov, a wonderful new month, second day of Rosh Chodesh. And it is the month of Tammuz. The month of Tammuz historically is always known as the month of mourning, the 17th of Tammuz, when they laid siege on Jerusalem. It's the beginning of the mourning period of the 3 weeks, culminating with Tisha B'Av, the fast of Tisha B'Av, the destruction of the temple. But let's remember there are some other important dates, important events, and today I want to focus on one date where we have 3 events related to that, which is Gimel Tammuz, the 3rd day of the month of Tammuz. We find it back in Yeshua. We find it by the previous Rebbe, and with the Rebbe, his special day also, Gimel Tammuz. But let me first share with you the historical fact, briefly obviously, what happened with Yeshua on the 3rd day of Tammuz. So Moshe Rabbeinu has given over the leadership to Yeshua, who he is going to lead him into Eretz Yisrael. He didn't have a cakewalk. Many battles. 15 nations were there who would not let him come in. Kings, and looks like the kingdoms were relatively pretty small. Jerusalem was a kingdom. Hebron was a kingdom. What we know today of cities apparently at that time was a kingdom. There were broader, bigger ones too. They had to battle. They would not let him in peacefully. So in chapter 10 of Yeshua, there it says, King of Jerusalem, Adoni Tzedek, he realized that Yeshua is on a victory path. He has destroyed already many places. And he also saw, what he got even more frightened, he saw he made a peace accord. He made an agreement with with the inhabitants of Givon, where they were peacefully letting him in. So he got frightened. He made a pact with the king of Hebron, the king of Yarmus, the king of Lachish, and the king of Eglon. So now there are 5 kings that Yeshua is going to have to face. God reveals himself. Vayomer Hashem el Yeshua, and God says to Yeshua, Al tira mehem, do not be afraid. Ki biyotcha nesatim, I will give them in your hands. V'leyamed ish mehem befonecha, nobody will be able to withstand you. And indeed, God intervened in that war, and he was victorious. Miracle, heavy boulders, stones fell from heaven and killed more of those soldiers than Yeshua killed in battle. Although he killed 12,000, quite a number, the stones killed even more. And then Yeshua says the following. Az yedaber Yeshua al Hashem, and that's when Yeshua speaks to God. B'yom teis Hashem es hamoreh lifnei bnei Yisrael, when God has given the Amorites to the Jewish people. According to the Radak, it was Erev Shabbos. He hasn't finished the battle. The sun is setting. He needs daylight. So he says, Shemesh begivon doim. The sun should be silent. The sun should stop. The rotation of the sun should discontinue. And it says, Vayidam Hashemesh v'yoreach amod ad yikom goy oivov. The sun indeed stopped its rotation. The moon stopped. The entire galaxy stopped. It stayed day. Different opinions here, 6 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours. Not going into this detail. But it did something that never happened. And the sun only set when it was victorious. That's the first event that we find on the third day of Tammuz. Third day of Tammuz gives us a message. The sun doesn't set till we're all victorious in our conquering Eretz Yisrael. The sun doesn't set until we're victorious, until we get the final Geula, and may this be today. Doesn't have to wait till the 3rd of Tammuz.